BlockDAG, the marketing monster. Alright, welcome back to Scam Alert HQ, everyone. Thetra here. Today we are tearing down a crypto marketing campaign that's, well, it's become an absolute phenomenon. We're gonna get right under the hood of the BlockDAG hype machine. So, let's just dive in. Let's start with a number. Just look at this. Nearly $500 million. Seriously, just let that sink in for a second. That's how much BlockDAG pulled in during its presale. Now, you know as well as I do, this market is absolutely flooded with projects. So how in the world does one project, one name, just vacuum up that much cash that fast? That's the big question we're tackling today. So what's the deal here? Was this all because of some groundbreaking, revolutionary tech that's going to change the world? Or, and this is the interesting part, was it just one of the most perfectly engineered, psychologically brilliant marketing machines we have ever seen in crypto? We're about to find out. We're going to deconstruct this thing piece by piece. You know, there's a saying that goes around, and it's truer today than ever. In crypto, attention is currency. And man, BlockDAG didn't just get this memo. They wrote the whole book on it. They mastered it. In a world that is just pure noise, they figured out how to be the only thing you could hear. They knew you can't get people's money until you first get their attention. It's as simple as that. Okay, so how did they actually pull this off? Let me tell you, this was not a happy accident. This was not luck. This was a machine, a meticulously built two-pillar engine with both sides firing on all cylinders, all designed for one thing and one thing only: absolute, unstoppable growth. So let's talk about these two pillars. On one hand, you've got the first pillar, the viral community. This was all about building from the inside, turning every single user into a non-stop 24/7 marketing agent for the project. Then you've got the second pillar, the influencer army. This was the outside attack, right? Borrowing credibility, borrowing reach from all these trusted online faces. It's like a classic pincer movement in a battle, and believe me, it was devastatingly effective. Now this is where things get really, really clever. See, they weren't just looking for investors. No. They were creating evangelists. They made it fun, right? Meme contests. They made it easy with token airdrops. And they made it very profitable with huge referral bonuses. Oh, and of course they built trust with these big AMA sessions, which, let's be real, were usually filtered so carefully that you'd be lucky to hear an even slightly challenging question. And this just lays out their influencer strategy perfectly. This wasn't just, throwing money at random YouTubers to shill their token. It was like casting for Hollywood blockbuster. Seriously, they had the crypto OGs to build trust with the hardcore believers. They had the TikTok creators to simplify the message and make it go viral for everyone else. They brought in tech innovators to sprinkle on that layer of professional credibility. And then, bam, mainstream brands to make it look like this was a real-world player. Every single audience, every single base, covered. But hold on, because this is where we get to the real secret weapon. The community, the influencers, that was all just the delivery system. The missile itself, the payload, it wasn't facts, it wasn't tech, it was a feeling. And that's where the real genius is. It's not in what they did, it's in how they made you feel. And what was that feeling? You know it, we all know it. FOMO. The fear of missing out, that knot in your stomach, that anxiety that tells you, hey, this could be the next big thing, and you're about to be left behind. BlockDAG didn't just tap into this feeling. They didn't hope for it. They built a factory for it. They manufactured FOMO on an industrial scale. I mean, just look at the language they used. This is straight from an official announcement. Use it now. Lock your priority. Maximize your profits. See how that's not a suggestion? It's a command. It is aggressive, it is urgent, and it's designed to completely bypass the logical part of your brain and hit you right in the gut. This, my friends, is weaponized FOMO. And they had a formula for it. A simple 3-step recipe. This wasn't an accident. Step 1. Create urgency. Slap an expiration date on bonuses and promo codes. Step 2. Create scarcity. They use this batch system where the price just keeps climbing. Every time you hesitate, you lose. And step 3. Create pressure. A big fat countdown timer ticking away on the website, constantly screaming at you that your chance is disappearing. It is a textbook masterclass in psychological engineering. But here's the thing, pressure alone, it's not enough. You can't just squeeze people. You have to give them something to run towards, right? Something to chase. So they stopped talking so much about the complicated tech, the directed acyclic graphs and all that jargon, and instead they started selling something way, way more powerful. They sold a dream. And man, was it a compelling dream. We're talking about the dream of financial freedom. The dream that you, yeah, you, could just start mining crypto from your phone, no matter who you are or where you live. The dream of being part of this huge community where everyone wins together. You gotta understand, that emotional story, it is infinitely more powerful than a 100-page technical white paper could ever hope to be. Okay, so the bottom line. The hype machine was built, the FOMO fuel was poured in, the engine was fired up. But did the damn thing actually work? Let's take a look at the results. 3 million, over 3 million app users. I mean, that is just a staggering number. If we're just talking about user acquisition, this campaign was an absolute, undeniable runaway train of a success. They built a massive community of people who bought in, at least enough to download the app. And this is the big one that supporters will always point to. Over 19,000 hardware miners shipped out. To them, this is the proof in the pudding. Tangible physical evidence that there's a real product, a real operation running behind all that flashy marketing. And of course, this right here, this is the jet fuel for all that FOMO. The absolutely massive potential return on investment. People were getting in for as low as a fraction of a penny with the promise of a 5-cent launch price. I mean, that kind of potential gain, it makes people throw money first, and maybe ask questions later. But, and you knew there was a but coming, right? This is a big one. The whole campaign raised a ton of red flags for critics. For starters, the pre-sale period was unusually long. The return on investment projections were just astronomical. People pointed out that their public GitHub was pretty quiet, and then of course you have the really serious ethical questions about using this kind of intense, high-pressure psychology to get people to invest. Now, the counter-argument to all that criticism is, as we've seen, that there's proof of progress. Supporters will tell you, hey, the X1 mobile miner app is live and it works. The physical X10 miners have actually been shipped, and they've apparently locked in listings on over 20 different exchanges. So their whole defense really rests on this idea that delivering a tangible product outweighs whatever aggressive marketing tactics they use to get there. So where does that leave us? After peeling back all these layers, what's the big takeaway here? Well, we can actually distill this entire crazy case study down into a simple playbook, a formula, and this is the stuff you really need to learn to recognize when you see it out there in the wild. And here it is, the BlockDAG marketing playbook, in 3 simple steps. Number 1, community is everything. Your users have to become your biggest marketers. Number 2, feelings are stronger than facts. Sell people an exciting vision, not a complicated piece of tech. And number 3, urgency drives action. You have to master FOMO and give people a powerful reason to get involved right now. Look, whether you admire this or you're absolutely terrified by it, you just can't deny how powerful it is. And all of this brings us to the final question, right? We've analyzed the machine, we've looked at the psychology, we've seen the results, and we've acknowledged the red flags. So, what's the final verdict? So what do you think? Was this one of the most genius marketing strategies the crypto world has ever seen? I mean, a true masterclass in building a global phenomenon out of thin air? Or was it an ethical minefield just built on high-pressure tactics and promises that were right on the edge? The honest answer is, it might just be both. And figuring out exactly where that line is drawn, well, that's the question I'm going to leave with you.